Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood, Fate, and Fortune, a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, and seduction, all set in the world of 7th. My name is Dan McCurdy. You can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky. And if you find me anywhere else, I don't know where that could be. Let me know. I've lost track of all my social media presence. I will be the storyteller this evening, and I will allow my players to introduce themselves, starting with, we're jumping all over the place, Natalie.
Hi, everyone. I obviously wanted to be first, so that's why my name is Natalie, also known as Gizmos Aplenty across all of the social medias. And tonight, I'll be portraying Leonora Orsini, the sorte strega of this motley crew.
And I am Jeremiah McCoy, also known as Basics of the Game, and I absolutely can spell. I will be playing Mykolas Kelvan, the simple soldier of this group.
Simple soldier. You know what? Anyway, my name is Wolfgar, Reaper Wolfgar, anywhere that matters. And tonight I will be portraying Fr Rafael Rodriguez, the Castilian priest.
Hey, my name is Tuk or Tuk, I guess. You can find me everywhere at Tuk or Tuk, I guess, especially on the Tiki-Takis and on the Twitchies. I am going to be playing... I was practicing. I got it. Muscle Mommy Monster Hunter, Knight of Avalon, Roan Ibex.
Perfecto. Hello, everyone. I am Lakar, the Artificer, everywhere you can find me on socials. And tonight, once again, I will be playing Umberto Vitale, or that guy who also is known by that other name that seems to send his cugina spiraling. Anyway.
Previously on Blood, Fate, and Fortune, our resolute band dealing with a attack on the family Lamotte, as the portiers in service of l'Empereur had come in order to have Charlotte Lamotte tested. In the aftermath of that, Umberto and Charlotte had ended up trapped in the in-between, and the rest of the party was very calm and reasonable in their approach to bringing them back. That's not true at all. There had been a recent assassination attempt also. Well, not so much an assassination attempt as I'm just going to shoot you in the chest because I think I can get away with everything, of the Duke Lamont, Olivier Lamont. And though he had been saved rather miraculously by the good Fr Rafael Rodriguez, with a level of healing that even Raphael had not yet experienced from their particular powers, war was coming. This had been an attack by l'Empereur in one of the great houses, a great house that did not have to take that, and so was beginning its plan to launch an attack on l'Empereur and to come to a settlement and to deal with l'Empereur's many extravagancies and maybe bring Montaigne into a better time. This obviously was of worry to the party, not particularly wanting to be party to launching all of Montaigne into civil war. And so they worked in different ways, talking to different people, trying to figure things out. Meanwhile, trapped in the 7th Sea with his cousin, Umberto saw prophecies, saw visions of armies that were gathering, visions that were very similar to visions that Mykolas had previously experienced long ago, and of a war to come, even though even Rona did not seem to fully understand the source of visions, as typically her powers do not include seeing into the future. And when they were all brought back, having found some modicum of peace, Mykolas gave a plan that maybe, since they could prove that one of the portiers had also been taking money from the Felici family, that perhaps he could be put forward as a foreign agent, instigating difficulty and at least buy time. Duke Olivier agreed to this plan, and the party had the very strong sense that if the Duke had not survived, that there would have been much less mileage gotten out of giving that pitch to his son. And so they found peace for a time. Father Rodriguez, however, was asked to write a letter. to the commoners of Montaigne, letting them know the situation and preparing for what might be a devastating war, something the good father did, signing the letters as they were mass produced and sent out throughout Montaigne and eventually Castile as the fourth.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And that brings us to our current session. You all are back on the Golden Coffer, the trade ship that you took out of Donega Inishmore with intention of the long-term goal of arriving in Mondavi Vidaci, from where you can take land transport to Felici. Raphael, you are sitting in the cabin that you and Rowan have been sharing on this long journey, and sitting in front, still covered in canvas, is a certain painting. You have expressed on several occasions that you wished you had time to interact with this painting again, and so I am now putting you in an empty cabin with the painting. Now, out of curiosity, who all knows about the painting at this point? Has everyone? Let's see. I think everyone but Mykolas has been inside of it. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they all know.
Yeah, everyone is aware of it.
We all know of it, but we don't know that it's on our travels. Wait. Yeah, we do. I'm
do.
sorry. I'm mixing the episodes that this painting has been in and reversing it. So
Yeah.
I apologize.
You're
So,
yeah.
Raphael, you are sitting there in the cabin, and there in front of you, covered with canvas, is the painting.
He is going to take on a small, very small piece of parchment and going to go be right back and write it on a piece of paper that is going to sit on like a just in case someone comes looking for him. And he is going to pull back part of the canvas on the painting itself and is going to touch it.
As you reach forward and you touch, you feel that, again, that strange, almost vertigo sensation as you, from the perspective, there's no one in the room to see it, but as folks have seen before, to you essentially dissolve into the painting. And there you are standing in a very lovely field, surrounded by a forest with a stream running through and a tiny Vadicine hermitage sitting beside it.
He lets the faux breeze just kind of hit his face for a second and just runs his hands over the grass a little bit and then just starts making his way slowly up to the hermitage. He doesn't feel need to rush at this moment. But he just looks around and makes his way slowly but sure to the hermitage and stuff like that, keeping an eye out for Rico.
Okay. As you go forward and you approach the hermitage, the door opens and out walks Brother Rico Sandoval. Again,
me? Did I lag or did I stop? Me?
We did have a bit of a hiccup.
Yeah, I did not hear the last 30 seconds to a minute that you were talking.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Let's see. To me, you've caught up. Should we try to go from here, or is there? Okay.
Yeah.
You walk up, and the door opens, and Rico walks out, and he smiles at you. in that kindly way. Father Raphael. I would say it's been some time, but I don't actually know how long it's been. From my perspective, Micah just left.
And he just smiles and says, "It's been long enough."
So I see.
A lot has happened, and there is more I don't understand. And it says, "Do you mind if we sit?"
We can sit, we can walk, whatever you need. And he opens the door and gestures for you to come in, and leads you this time through the sanctuary section of the Hermitage into an even smaller cell, basically, where he stays. He sits on the very simple bed that is set up there and gestures to you the nicely padded chair that's in the corner next to a little writing desk.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what's on your mind.
He reaches into his pocket and he kind of just holds out the ball that he pulled from the Duke's chest.
A musket ball, yes?
Yes, one that nearly killed Duke Lamont on the deck of a ship.
You've met the Lamont family.
Indeed, I have.
I remember Adrian. He was a brash chevalier. He was the one my friend often needed to talk to the most. Reminding him that we were trying to do something different. He always wanted to charge in.
This one's a little bit different and a little more open to hearing reason. Has a bit more of a steadier hand, but he almost died. I was on the ship. We were dealing with the Portes à l'Empereur, and someone fired, and I didn't think. I just ran forward, did what I normally do, but this was different. There was a light, and I pulled this, this came from him, and he was healed nigh on completely, and I don't know how it happened.
You have been healing people for some time. And your body is constantly healing itself, as if a power is flowing through it, and simply a touch from you can tap that power into someone else and aid them to heal. This sounds similar. What about this worries you the way it does?
I don't know where it comes from. People are calling it a sorcery. I have never heard of such a thing like this. And several people saw me do this and have started whispering a great many things. To be quite honest, they've been whispering things for quite some time, and it just worries me, the scale of what they say, and when it hits certain ears, and I'm worried because I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. I don't and he goes, there's so much that I just don't know how to navigate, and I don't want to wield it irresponsibly, but I'm not sure if I'm making any sense or if I'm just rambling. And he kind of just rubs his hands over his face.
You have power, a gift. And that gift, if I'm understanding you correctly, saved a man's life, yes? When your
did.
friends, many of whom are sorcerers themselves, a great variety of sorcerers, when they wield their power, and by doing save someone, what do you call it in your head? When the little inquisitor in there, who warns you that it is heresy, speaks, what is your response?
It's not heresy. It's just it's almost like a miracle in a way. It's not the same way that we view it, but it's
You know, we're not always sure where the sorceries come from. Like the practitioners of Sandaris obviously get their power from the deals. The Knights of the Grawl get their power from the oaths that they take from that strange relic. But what is the Grawl? We don't know. Partially because no one would ever dare suggest that we study it. A relic such as that, who would the king or queen of the Glamour Isles ever hand it to? Is it a Fae thing? Do they draw their powers from that far side of the Seventh Sea? Possibly. It's one of the prevailing theories. Even my friend didn't know. And the Fate Witches, their ability to see the threads of fate, their ability to interpret them through the use of their cards, their ability to give their little tugs, their little pushes, and to see the threads that connect everyone. If you ever asked your friend, Leonora, how she did it, would she have an answer for you? Or is she as ignorant as to how you can't? And my friend Adrian, we traveled together for a long time. He had the power of portier magic. He was ashamed of it. The portiers had caused so much harm. They had been among those that were being rebelled against, that the first of the prophets were saving the world from. And yet he used it. He used it when we needed it, and helped in the creation of this bubble. But we don't know why their blood does that.
you are right, but there is at least multiple people that have been documented doing these different things. There have been stories told about fate witches. There have been stories told about practices of Sandaris. There have been Knights of the Grawl who have lived for hundreds and hundreds of years, and Prophet only knows what the Portier are well and truly capable of, and where it draws from and where it comes from. But this, I don't know what this is. There's not very many, if any, people I can ask.
There was always a first. There was the first time a woman of the bloodline that would eventually come to be known as Vidachin saw within and traced the lines of fate. And probably everyone thought her mad. There was the first time a blood mage discovered that they could rip open the very fabric of the universe itself, and then learned if they did use their blood to do so, that it could actually be done relatively safely. That was the first time someone found that relic and heard the call to a higher form of justice. There's always a first. Because a thing is new does not mean it is heresy.
I don't think it is. I never have. I just wish I understood it more.
When they whisper about you, what is it specifically that they whisper?
I have heard more talk of the fourth.
Do you think you are?
I don't know. Maybe. It would explain some things if this is the first if I am the first and I am this close to a thing, it would make sense to make that logical leap, but who am I to assume? I don't want to. He just goes,
You know, the thing that truly identifies a prophet. One thing they all have in common, even the third.
out of character, Wolfgar is having a hard time connecting the dots. But Raphael would know.
Raphael might not know. That might not be a thing he had ever occurred to him to think of. The prophets are just the prophets.
That's true. He just goes, I don't know. I haven't even thought to look.
They were the only ones out of everyone around them who definitively was certain that they had no idea what they were doing. Everyone else looked at them with this idea that they were the ones who were going to fix everything, or that they were some form of heretic, or that they were just power-grubbing maniacs, whatever the case may be. But even when they were thought to be the maniacs, the heretics, they were always the grand conspirator. My friend was just a man studying, a scholar. It didn't make sense to him that these powers had been given to so many different people, and that in and of itself was an abomination. It didn't fit with his understanding of Theas. And so he looked into it. He continued to protect the people from rogue sorcerers, yes, as was the duty of the Vaticine at the time. But he also told them how they could do it right. But he didn't know what he was doing. He was making it up as he went. The same, I believe, with the first. I mean, when my friend was still traveling, there wasn't ever going to be a second prophet. There was just a prophet. We hadn't started numbering them yet. And so, if you are, there's not going to be a bright, shining ray of light. Theas will not come down and speak the truth to the people. You will never, ever know for sure. But the people will. The people will look at the miracles that surround you, the impossible things that will continue occurring around you, the least of which will likely be your healing. There have been miraculous healers in the past. It is not unknown. It is never manifested in so overtly a magical way, to my knowledge, but when you are able to be where you need to be in an instant, even though the world is well aware of portiers, it will be you. When you are able to drive to the very heart of justice, because you have a knight of the Grawl at your side, it will be you. When you are aware of the way people are bound together, as if you could see fate itself, even though they know about fate witches, that will be you. And when you possess a power that could scour the world clean, and yet doesn't, for whatever reason, that will be you. And it will be unfair. And you'll hate it, just as my friend did.
I already kind of do. He kind of chuckles quietly to himself as he is thinking about the fact that the incident on the island with the with Mykolas being the one who was controlling these things, and yet the people on the ship assumed it was because he prayed.
Yep. He laughs. And in the end, it is a choice. My friend could have denied it. And if he did long enough, maybe people would have believed him. Maybe they would have called him something else, and we would still live in a world where there was only ever one prophet, as far as the people were concerned. And maybe he made the wrong choice in accepting the mantle. But we are coming to a strange time in this world. Micah and I spoke for a very long time. Someone will claim the mantle eventually. And people may believe them.
I don't think I can shrug it aside anymore.
Then don't. Take your chance. Take the risk. Understand it will come with consequences.
I know. There is something that worries me.
Only one thing.
Well, one thing in present particular bit that I might don't know if you have knowledge of or anything of that nature, but one of our number, the portier Umberto, he recently came back from being trapped in the in-between. He said there was a messenger there, someone entirely made of blood, and said that they were coming and that I needed to pick a side for when they step in to their job of the fourth prophet. And that unsettled me. And I don't know what that says about me, but
someone spoke to them to tell you that they were the fourth.
yes.
I may need to speak to Umberto directly.
Mm. I can go and find him.
In fact, this might be something all of your friends should hear.
Okay. I can gather them up and bring them in. Although there is one that might require a bit more convincing.
Do not force anyone, but
Yeah, no. It'll simply be a small request. And if they can't or don't want to, I don't want to force anything, but hopefully I can be at least a little bit convincing. But if you'll bear with me a moment, I shall return with them.
thank you. All right, jumping away from there, we're going to take a little bit of time to see what everyone else has been kind of up to. This isn't specifically in that period of time when Raphael was in the painting. What generally have you all, would you say, been up to on the midst of this trip? And let's open up with Umberto and whip around.
Umberto would have spent some time recovering because that was a lot, and he was a little beat up. He would have checked on the Duke and Charlotte and seen how they were holding up and seeing if there was anything he could do to fix anything that might have been broken.
They, in general, all this happening before you all departed on the ship, they would have been sad that you had to leave, but understanding of that fact. And as they and the Duke, again, having now given you the letter to take to your parents, inviting them to return to the Isle of Lemont and be welcomed back into the family, because at this point, there is no point in hiding anymore. They're coming for Charlotte, whether or not anyone else is there, and he's not going to allow that. So they would be as safe there as anywhere else. And so I'm sending that to you. Charlotte gives you a big hug before you leave. And as a girl who sometimes does not know her own strength and is frequently covered in plate mail, there was a little bit of rib bruising from the big hug. She kind of lifts you up and gives you particularly given that you were recovering, but other than that, very pleasant and no task, though the Duke says that if the time of war comes, having a portier on their side would of course be of immense value.
Do not fret, uncle. I will make sure you have your family at your side one way or another.
And he is very grateful for that. And on the ship, are we just recuperating?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to recuperate. He's going to try to help out on the ship as best he can. He's still trying to figure things out. He's trying to get it. He's trying. A for effort.
All right. What is Rowan doing?
Probably most likely writing still writing that letter. And when she gets very frustrated, you know that SpongeBob episode where he wrote the really pretty much where she is.
Yeah.
On that. And every time she gets overstimulated with the thoughts of the complicated and political shit, she will do literally anything but that. She will do shit that she normally don't do, like clean, everything, help on the ship, and all kinds of shit, just to purely avoid that.
Rowan will do swabby duty rather than write a letter involving politics.
100%. Oh yeah, she's you will see her do the just like back and forth extremely fast, just to avoid having to finish writing that thing. But eventually she will finish it. And her writing actually is very elegant because of how she grew up. So she does finish it, but is nervous the heck about it and haven't sent it. And she's probably found reading over it for the like 250th time.
All right, Mykolas.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the soldier getting up to now that they have departed, and you have in your possession a letter to deliver or see delivered to the king of the Samartian Commonwealth?
There are a couple of things he'll probably do. Probably put together his own report first, just to have it to go along with the letter. But one of the things he'll probably do, at least for the few days, is just check in on Leonora. She was pretty shaken up after, her experience. So he's regularly checking in on her, taking her out to walk on the deck, anything to sort of get her mind off of it. And lastly, he's probably going to be training. He is working on getting better at his hand-to-hand, and will actually practice with anybody who wants to.
All right. And Leonora?
You are correct in that assumption. Leonora is still very shaken up by that experience. So after the, ruthless checking in on Umberto after that first day, I'd say that she has a hard time sleeping at night. When it does come to the moments where she can find sleep, I feel like she's rudely woken up with gasps of breath or small screams, any kind of sort of night terror sort of episodes, which she shrugs off as much as possible, but obviously no one's buying that shit. And she would take opportunity after a few days and once they're on the ship to ask Mykolas to train her in combat.
All right. And what kind of combat is she asking, or just whatever he has to teach?
It's gonna be very like defensive combat and then some aim training. Just trying to get as much training with daggers. There might be a pistol involved. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the training comes about.
It's hard to get aiming training in on the boat, just because if it goes bad, that's a dagger in the ocean that you're never going to see again.
Yeah.
But there is room on the deck for like sparring of various types, and limited within like in the below decks. Like, all right, this barrel is no longer full of whatever it was containing, so we can throw daggers at it and stuff like that. And so there are opportunities such as this. And having had this little bit of chance for everyone to kind of say what they've generally been up to, Father Raphael manages to gather you all together. And this is coming a little bit randomly. Like, you're still in the middle of the sea. You're at least a few days away from landfall. If you look to the north, you would see Castile. That's where you currently are in the world. You're a ways away yet from Vidaci. And Father Raphael gathers you all around. Where would you gather them, would you say, Raphael?
Is the room that him and Rowan have been sharing big enough for all of them to fit?
That's going to be a very tight fit, but it is the closest to privacy you're probably going to get. No one else's room is going to be any better.
Yeah. He will likely just stand in such a way where he is situated, like sort of stand between Rowan's legs as she is sitting on her bed type of deal, and just will will kind of like has the painting sort of propped up and the canvas left where he laid it, and it's just be like, I need to ask something of you all. You feel free to say no, but if you would join me in this painting to speak with Rico would actually like to speak to you. You specifically. Everyone should be involved in this actually, but you. He mentioned you first and points to Umberto.
Is everything okay?
I was seeking some of his advice and told him of the individual, for lack of a better way of describing them, that you told me about. And he seemed concerned.
Okay, I understand. He wants me to elaborate on the story. Okay.
Probably. But yeah, and then we'll look to Leonora and say, I know you've been through a fair bit lately, so if you don't want to, I would understand. But
No, it is quite all right, Father. Actually, seeing Rico would be a happy surprise. It could be quite comforting to be in his presence again.
okay. And looks to Mykolas. This would be a new experience for you, and I know that. And it may be asking a fair bit.
You know I'm not of your faith.
I know. Yes, I know.
Why would he want what your faith would consider a pagan, a heathen, to be there?
Just because I have sat at pews and sang some prayers does not mean I am devout. I don't think that this man will look poorly on you, Mykolas.
I second Kujina. I have suffered the many hours of listening, but doesn't mean I'm the same type of believer as the Father here.
That.
What do he'll look around at the different people, sort of get a read on everybody's faces, be like, this isn't a thing where I have to convert or anything, is it?
No, it's not. I wouldn't force that on you to begin with.
Leonora says something in Vidachin over to Umberto, and it's something along the lines of, unless we're converting to the faith of the Father right here.
Oh, and he responds back, oh, I would follow Rafael wherever he wanted.
So all Raphael gets is his name. And Mykolas gets all of that.
Because he's the polyglot in the group.
Correct.
Raphael's just like, and he just laughs because he can't help but laugh. But then he will sort of lean back into Rowan and then go, what are your thoughts, Canino? You've been quiet.
Sorry, no, not her voice. She just gently responds, and kind of hold on to Raphael and say, "Well, whatever you want to do, I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, this also means I get to eat paint apples again, but you know."
Paint apples. I forget about that. It's better than the paint clothing.
We're not talking about that.
Because
Mykolas, you would remember the time when Rowan was running around in basically her armor but painted on.
Neither of these phrases is particularly encouraging to the idea of visiting. I will not be eating any paint.
you don't have to. It's a joke, Mykolas.
Well,
But
we can do whatever. I'm perfectly fine with it. Now I'm a bit worried about what he might have to tell us. Like, yeah, I've just been worried the whole time anyway because of everything going on. So hopefully this will help that maybe.
Well, are you worried to know or are you worried not knowing?
Well,
both.
I mean, if you really want to know what I'm thinking, it's a lot because we have seen a lot of visions and very bad things. And the one thing that I did learn from my birth mother is fate has stitches and they whatever the fuck come true. She said it more elegantly, but you know.
Lenora's been reading Rowan. She's been saying this.
Same old Rowan. No major changes up to fate.
If anyone looks though, she just like as the fate line comes about, you just see Lenora's eyes glisten a bright green.
But I'm just worried that the things that I fear might be of truth, and we will have to deal with that. And on top of us changing in some type of way, because I don't know if you all notice, we kind of all are getting stronger or changing in some ways.
You all certainly have. And I feel the need to say this because you were so good at reassuring me earlier, regardless of what comes. I can confidently at least speak for myself in saying that you will have me at your side.
She will kiss him on the forehead at that. And then she says, "Paint apples it is. Onward or..."
Just all you must do is touch it. You don't have to do anything fancy. It will pull you in. And you will get to meet him. So if we want to do this all at the same time, I imagine we could if we linked arms.
That reminds me of like an old like kids TV show. Like every night.
No, you jump in the painting of Mary Poppins.
Yeah, just into the chalk art.
Into the chalk art.
Oh, the chalkboard. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
So how are we doing this? Are we going one at a time? Is everyone touching it as one? What is
Lenore touches the painting.
Yeah.
Just go for it. All right. As you do that, quick question. Are you carrying the dragon's egg?
Yeah.
Okay. Lenore just sort of reaches forward and touches the painting. And I think all of you have seen to this point, she just dissolves into it. And the painting changes. Something new for all of you. You have this scene, this very idyllic scene with the Hermitage set up on it. But as she touches it, suddenly it's not just the simple Hermitage anymore. It is a fairly elaborate chapel. Rather than wilderness, it's in more of a park. You get the impression less that this is out in the middle of nowhere, and more this is in a very cultivated, intentionally planted garden. with walls around it and a stream going through and everything. But rather than the feeling like you could wander just off the page and be forever in the woods, now you can see definite sort of boundaries and stuff that seem to exist in it. Lenora, you appear in that, and you immediately clock the change. This is not what you were seeing in the painting when you touched it, and it is not where you remember going the last time.
She looks all cardinal directions and does like a spin around and like tries to get her surroundings. And it's like, all right, any day now. Where is everyone?
Raphael's right behind her.
Raphael immediately touches. Same thing. You dissolves in, and you are also all seeing the figures in the painting. They're not. It's not like Lenora's like not like waving at the camera. There's a figurine that looks very fate witchy, that is standing there, but not. Though, actually, anyone with a notice 2 or higher would notice a small dragon on her shoulder.
Well, that's fucking cool.
Do I notice the dragon on my shoulder?
No. Raphael, you touch. Raphael, what's your notice?
My notice is 1.
1. So you did not notice before you touch. You come in and you appear next to Lenora. Who's next?
With a nose or 2, Rowan goes,
Oh.
and then she will touch the painting.
You also dissolve in. There's now a figure of a knight, and from folks who saw before Rowan appeared very like Rowan appears. Rowan in this now looks like what the images of Knights of the Grawl look like in the grand paintings and stained glass windows that can be found in the Objectionist churches in the Glamour Isles. Who next?
Umberto will go to touch the painting, and right as he's doing it, he says, "Oh, sure." When he watches Leonora do it, sure, she dives into a portal to another world, and it's okay. But when I do it, she tries to strangle me.
Umberto travels through and looks. When he appears on the other side, Mykolas, you would notice he looks also very knightly. In the very Montanian style. There's very well made armor and stuff like this, more courtier armor, but it looks like he's prepared for potentially battle, like showing up to what should be a very fancy court scene that you might have to fight your way out of.
Mykolas probably hesitates for a moment.
When you do hesitate, the voice appears. Do you know what exactly is going to happen when you do this?
No.
Can you sense the power of my kind in it?
Can he?
He wouldn't really know what to...
I can't. But my friends need me.
A Devi aided in the making of this painting.
Were you the one?
No.
Okay. And he'll touch the painting.
And you feel this, like almost like your stomach dropping out, like from under you, like if you're on like one of those like fair rides where they suddenly drop you. And though no one remains to see it, Mykolos's figure appears next to all the others. And if anyone had a high enough notice, they would have seen a shadowy figure standing very tall in the parapets of one of the walls surrounding the enclosure. And in the order you traveled through, you all appear in this very changed
Oh,
space.
Padre, where are we?
This is new. I'm not as familiar. And he's gonna sort of look around and figure out if there's any familiarity in this, like anything he could pinpoint on or pull on.
So all of the key portions of the painting are here. The stream is right where you remember the stream being. The building is right where you remember that being. There's an open grassy area, but here instead of wild grasses, it is mowed and paths are paved, and rather than a seemingly infinite forest encircling it, it has trees, but it's also very definitely encircled with walls. So the space has not fundamentally changed. The Cliff's Notes version remains the same, but the details have been altered.
Gotcha. It's just like the details are different, but the main parts of it are still here.
So
We're
do
like-
we think that Rico is still here?
He should be. He has no reason not to be. He's probably in the chapel there.
Then let us go.
Raphael will take point and lead them into the chapel.
You all walk in and you see Rico, but rather than the simple monk's outfit that he's always been wearing before, he's now in priestly vestments. Well made, old fashioned, but well made, and moving around, tending candles and things. And again, all of the details of the inside, like the fundamental things, there is still the place where people can light votives. There is seating there, but where before it was very rustic, here it is grander. Here it is like there are stained glass windows on the inside now, and the rather than rough-hewn log benches, they're finely crafted pews that actually have cushions on them and look like they'd be a lot more comfortable. And you all also look in your attire. As you're kind of glancing down at yourselves, you're in fine versions. Like if you were to pick out, I'm dressing up for a nice event, not only do the clothes match that, it's stuff you would pick. Like, so whatever, like your taste was taken into consideration. And he looks at, hello, friends. Father, I see you were able to bring them all in. Please, take seats.
We'll lead in and start taking a seat, sort of like filing in from like the center outward from the front pew and just filling out that way is kind of how Raphael would sort of lead everybody.
I think Mykolas will hold back a bit. Like this is their thing as far as he's concerned. He's just there to support them.
Leonora clocks that, and she's going to encourage him to at least come inside. You can stand if you wish, but just the hospitality, I promise, is not to be shrugged.
He'll nod and comply with her wishes, though you can tell he's probably a little bit uncomfortable with all of this.
Yeah, as you walk in, Rico actually will turn to you and give a bow. And he starts speaking to you. And he's speaking Coronian. And you know that. But you've heard some old folks from home speaking in the old dialects. And as a polyglot, you're able to pick it up. But it occurs to you that before you've done that, you might not have been able to understand him as he greets you, not only kindly and in your own language, but in a holy way befitting one of the many shrines of the old gods.
He will nod and reply in Coronian, which I think they maybe heard him speak a couple of times, but not often.
Certainly when you were in Marsha, yeah.
Yeah. And he will say, thank you for the kind greeting and the acknowledgement of the old ways.
I was certainly no expert growing up in Castile, but my friend spent much time studying amongst your people and said it was always good to learn how people greeted each other in their homelands. Show them that we could come to them. They did not have to always come to us.
I have been told that this place was at least partially done with the power of the Divine.
Oh, yes. This would not have been possible without the Losajas who traveled with us. The creation of the space required the skills of a blood mage. The tending to reality within it, making it stable, that required the abilities of Fate Witch. But the raw power, the energy needed, that came from the Losajas.
We're not known for creating much.
They're capable of it. The ones called Divai. They were once great at it. But they lost it. They lost their way. They shattered themselves. And they mistake a shard for the whole.
Still, we should perhaps return to a language our friends understand so that we are not rude.
Actually, though, as you say that, everyone else, you perfectly heard everything they were saying.
Oh!
And so when Miklo says, well, let's go back to a language we'll understand, you all are like, but we did. Huh.
In Vidachin, Lenora's going to talk to Umberto and just be like, what is he talking about?
I haven't the foggiest clue.
Roan and Raphael, you perfectly understand the Vidachin. It does not occur to you that they're speaking in it.
Universal translator painting says what?
And you're used to the asides. You know, like, so they are talking like they do when they speak Vidachin to each other. But as far as you can tell, they spoke easily enough for you to hear.
Ro will just go, I knew they were talking shit.
Lenora's face immediately goes red.
Yes, even so. Take a seat, everyone.
Good.
Miss Orsini, it is good to see you again.
She gives a nice bow and says, and to you as well.
So, Rowan, I see you have, and gestures to Rowan, I see you have taken on the mantle full now.
Yeah. It's, responsibility. It's great. I'm having a good time,
I got sponsorabilities.
It's responsible. I can do stuff.
And then he glances over at Umberto and says, good to see you again as well.
A pleasure. How do you fare?
Same as always. That is the nature of this place. It doesn't change.
I beg to differ, but...
What do you mean?
It seems that you have upgraded since the last time we saw you.
In what way?
how do I explain?
The setting of the painting looks different.
Whole new digs, dude.
This has always been this way.
No.
This was the first chapel we set in the city, in San Cristobal, in fact.
I wish to read.
He reads the same as he ever has.
Is there anything of the nature of the painting that reads differently?
You're looking hard, just trying to put stuff together. And again, there are subtle differences. Fate exists here.
Mhm.
And like the black thread is there, like it has been every time you came here. Looped first to Umberto, and then going oddly up from there. But and that's nothing new. But the way it flows, you all are connected in the same way. The strands of fate sometimes seem to blow in a breeze, but now they're not blowing in the same direction. Again, the basics are all the same, but the details are different. You all seem very disturbed by this.
Not so much disturbed, so more so concerned. It's just because before, when we were here, we were at the Hermitage. There was an open field and things of that nature, and now
A hermitage.
it looks different. Yeah, it's a hermitage. That's what you refer to it as.
Yeah. Looking at the painting before Leonora entered, it was pastoral, not this sort of city view.
The stream was not here. The streets were not here. It was just a simple building. Did you perhaps renovate an old building when you first started? You did say that this was your first chapel.
He looks confused and quick. I misspoke. The first chapel in a city they would have said, and this was me getting it wrong, not him.
Okay.
Would have been in probably Villanova, in Vodacce.
Oh.
But as you say that, he's like, what you are describing is my hermitage in Castile. Would have been a wonderful place to set up, but we decided this.
Well, we were quite familiar with the Hermitage when we last saw you, so we apologize. We do not mean to confuse you.
Your memory is of time travels strangely here. Our Amelia, the weaver of fate that traveled with us, she spoke of a desire to allow time to flow here along with fate, but it never worked quite the way she wanted it to. She became worried that people would enter in one time and leave in vastly different ones, and so she decided it wasn't worth the risk. But so to me, the father left, saying that he would go and get you, and then you all were here. Sometimes if I focus, I can travel along with time, like I did when I was in the Boyar's castle, watching over them. But in general, unless I'm focusing and using a lot of my energy, I jump from one visitor to the other.
Oh.
If you are used to something different, then something has changed. And then did not think anything could change here.
That isn't so bad, is it? It's not like life-threatening or fear of this painting disrupting. And she starts going into a little bit of a spiral as she's like thinking about it.
He puts a hand on your shoulder and says, to my knowledge, nothing can harm you here. There has never been a threat, physical, to anyone who has shared this space with me. Threats exist outside of the painting. Stay here too long, outlive your body in a way that is difficult with our connection to time. And he's like, but the idea that you knew this is my hermitage and not as this chapel, that I cannot explain. Around this time, quick little DM nudge. Those who had sufficient notice to notice the dragon on Leonora's shoulder. Umberto, at this point, you would kind of glance over and be like, oh, the dragon isn't there.
But could he use that as kind of he noticed that, and could he kind of surmise that the added presence that we didn't normally come with the first time around might have been the responsible party?
And you have seen how the presence of a dragon has changed your perspective, certainly of the Seventh Sea.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the portier would, I think, pretty quickly be able to put together, I've got a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I have a theory as to what happened.
I'm all ears.
Before there was 5 of us, and he looks at Leonora, but now there are 6.
Ooh, what? Oh. And she immediately puts hands on her pouch and she's feeling the outside of the pouch for the egg.
It's there.
I
that-
noticed when you arrived in here that you had a companion who is not present with you in the way you were portrayed, but you're carrying it with you.
You say companion. It is not alive. It is still, and she starts to like slowly bring it out of her satchel. It is still without a father to bring it to life.
Rico looks at it fascinated. Is that an egg made of metal?
Sorry. Someone's accusing Leonora of being pregnant.
Oh God.
But we would never ask. That is so
Never.
rude. And
Never. She looks at it like she's been staring at it for a moment, is trying to see if she can read it, and diverts attention back over to Rico. It is a child of a gold dragon. I don't know how familiar you are with the dragon lineage per se.
The dragons are still alive. We thought
And
they
she's
were being
gonna look over at Umberto for help.
We were I was in need of assistance, and that assistance was given by the help of the young one's mother. She in return asked us to carry it and help it.
What an amazing gift. The dragons were few in my time. Never seen and so hunted. I'm afraid I don't have any advice on it, but from what I understood of the role the dragons played, its presence may well have edited this painting.
She places it back into her satchel. I apologize if you know not at this moment, but was there anything that Amelia was studying that may have any connections to dragons per se, to make her think that it wasn't a good idea?
She was so caught up. I'm terribly sorry. I'm not a sorcerer. It never was. And so
No, it is. My apologies. Not to worry. It is not as if she can appear in this painting as well.
No, she was not anchored. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe dragons can influence fate. Their presence could change fate. That might cause the changes.
Dragons, by my understanding, were the first guardians of the seventh sea. Perhaps they influence fate. Perhaps they are changing the structure of the bubble of reality that the Portier created. Maybe they hold some other aspect. And you said this egg requires a father.
To our knowledge, the mother is the last of her kind. And so she gave us charge of this egg in hopes that if there is indeed the possibility that a male is somewhere on this world, that this line could have a chance to be reborn.
What a magical chance. I can offer little to it other than a blessing that is words from a man who means them very much. But
please, anything will help. And she pulls it back out.
He would just, and then he would look over at Raphael and say, "Would you join me in this?"
Of course. And he'll sort of move to sit next to Leonora.
He puts a hand over it, but gestures for you to touch it entirely. It was never placed in my care, but it was yours, and I would not want to make liars of you to a mother who trusted you.
He will touch it and kind of cradle underneath it like he's supporting it.
Little one, whoever you are going to be, you may never know the risk your mother took. But she found amazing guardians for you. Find your path. Find your hope. And one day fly strong. Hope of your people. May Theas watch over you, as they do all their children, until the world is mended. And he withdraws his hand. That was an incredible gift. Very rare. I invited you all here for a reason. Umberto, I'm I would wish to hear more of the one that you encountered in the Seventh Sea. Any details you can call upon.
That world is rife with danger, and it has a habit of pulling at your fears. But when me and my cousin were attempting to travel back.
I'm sorry, cousin.
Yes. I have learned a lot about myself since last we spoke. And he'll kind of look at Leonora and look at everyone. It appears that Umberto is not my true name. But it is one that I now go by.
What was the name that one might once have called you?
Adrian.
One of my friends was named Adrian.
Yes. I know. And my cousin traveled to the Seventh Sea to help me get home, as she has now also discovered that she has this ability as well.
Is your cousin well?
As well as a very powerful yet small woman can be.
Well, I'm sorry for the distraction. Just I did not know you had cousins, and you mentioned it, and I am taken up with all the
Umberto,
new
you can
family.
just tell him.
I am the lost stag of the Lamottes.
You are a Lamotte. Wait, and he steps back and looks you over and goes, "Yes, I can see it now. I was missing it before." You are Adrian, but he stops halfway through saying it. No, you aren't. You might have been. You could have been. And those who would know you that way would not be entirely wrong and yet never completely right. Something. And he looks over at Lenora. Someone changed it.
If you knew Amelia well, then you knew that everyone had a name day. And Umberto had one.
You were named on your name day, Umberto Vitale. And so in the eyes of fate, that is who you are.
And that is who I will always be. Who I could have been is... I'm not hiding who I was, who I could have been. But Umberto is much more befitting. Flows better.
He nods and puts a hand on your shoulder and goes, "Know this. The power of the Fate Weavers. The power of the Fate Weavers is great. And they can alter many things. But your family remains forever your family. It is not everything. You are yourself. This other name, it does not have to define you. But you can take as much from it as you wish."
It is one chapter in the story of my life.
A very convoluted one.
Yes. But I digressed from the point.
Yes.
On the travels home, someone stepped forth who had no desire to stop us from leaving, and those that do tend to make it difficult, but he did not. He simply wished me to deliver a message to the father here, saying that when the time comes, he would have to choose a side.
He leans in. Did he name the sides?
I'm trying to remember all the information you gave him exactly, but I don't. Prior to that, there were visions of war from many different places. There were different families and crests of the different nations.
An echo. Amelia spoke of such things. I wish I had my library. The one who spoke to you, did they change form?
They appeared like a person.
Did their voice stay the same or did it shift?
It seemed steady.
There are creatures in the seventh sea. They might have been Fae once. Or perhaps they were Cyrna. Some creature of great power attempted to cross that divide and failed. Maybe many of them in the back and forth of the war. They have no shape now, but they have vast knowledge, vast power. And you all carry your experiences with you, not only your own, but each other's. One of them might look into, say, your mind, Umberto, and instead of seeing your friend Mykolas, have instead seen the divide that walks with him. If one of them saw the Father through you, and the power they might be coming to wield, they might have chosen to mimic that. And then they would wish to use it.
As Rico was talking,
Mhm.
Leonora is staring blankly at a wall, recounting what had happened in the Seventh Sea, of her running from these shapeless individuals turning into her friends and her having to stab them. Clutches the satchel beside her and abruptly walks out of the room.
Meanwhile, outside the painting, The golden coffer has been pulled up on. 2 ships. Large, well armed, giving orders. The captain sends one of the cabin boys to go down and to find the party and see what they need, what they would prefer, what they should do. But the boy cannot find any of them. Looking in all of the cabins, looking down in the bilges, looking up in the rigging, and having no counteroffers to give, the captain nods to the inquisitors aboard the ships.
Oh.
And diverts course. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to show you some previews of other shows we have going on the channel, and we will be back in just a few minutes. From behind one of the chests in the room, Newt sticks her head out. No one's giving me my own room yet, sorry.
You know who's going to look out for you now? The 5 of us, including lovely Miss Verity over there. And her soon-to-be boyfriend, Demetrius, but they won't tell each other.
She kind of looks over at Verity and tilts her head thinking about Demetrius. He's nice.
See? He's nice. Go ahead. Tell the kid that he's not nice. Do it, Mel. Do it.
Struggle's real. He's nice.
I want you to remember, Mouse, you were the one who looked at me. We're keeping Newt. And welcome back. So, last we were with the group, Leonora was walking with intention out of the chapel and into the is she walking with the thought of I am leaving the painting or I'm going outside for air?
She just needs air. So she's just trying to be a few feet away from the chapel doors, maybe grabbing onto a light post or something to just ground herself.
Mm-hmm. You walk outside and you're in that very lovely park.
Mykolas is following her because she seems bothered, and she's been bothered a lot lately, so he's worried.
Or you walk up, Mykolas is behind you.
Currently, she's just looking forward, really not paying attention to either footsteps or the door slamming behind her. She, again, just needed to ground herself, be outside looking at something different, hearing the wind, hearing whatever birds, if there are any, hearing just other sounds other than the words that Rico was talking, because that was sending her down a spiral that she did not like.
Mm-hmm. As Mykolas is, you walk outside and you see her glancing up in the walls, the parapets that are encircling this park. You see a tall, elongated figure with long white hair looking down on you.
He will ignore the figure. He's not. He's gotten used to ignoring the things he shouldn't see or hear. Mm-hmm. So he's just going to stand nearby. I think he will make just enough noise that she knows he's there.
After a few deep breaths and trying to center herself, trying to just tune into something other than what was happening in the chapel, Leonora will just go, I'm all right. You do not need to watch me.
Never need to. But you have going through a lot lately. It's never a matter of need. It's a matter of You've been there for me. I will be there for you. You know this, yes?
I do. Do you have many soldiers that go through this kind of thing?
I've known some.
Did they
Probably.
ever get out of it?
Some. But I still wake up with nightmares sometimes.
It is the nature of war. And Leonora, you are also hearing this voice.
Leonora pauses a second, is still looking outwards,
Mhm.
and then turns to where Mykolos's voice was coming from.
Which was not where this other voice was coming from.
Uh-huh. Does she see anything else around Mykolos at this time?
Not around Mykolos, no. But you do notice Mykolos has another string of fate. You are used to the ones that connect the party members, including the two of you. This is a new one. And it's traveling upwards, but not like your black thread. Up to the wall, one of the parapets.
She's looking up towards where the thread leads and goes.
And you see the figure.
She's holding on to her necklace.
What's the matter?
Mykolos, I don't think we're safe here.
You'll turn. Is it her?
And you see her looking. You don't recognize the figure because I don't think you've had a way to see her since the change.
Yeah, not since she changed. He saw her when he made the deal, but
And Mykolas, you realize Leonora is seeing her. You know, Mykolas and I have spoken so much about you, Leonora Orsini.
Mykolos, do you know this figure?
I know her voice.
I am
That is
Crow of War. You've heard me sung of often, I think.
Leonora hears that name, takes a moment, and then throws a dagger in the general direction of the chapel.
At the chapel?
Well, at where she is, because I'm
Okay.
assuming that she's like
Mhm.
standing, whether it's her shadow or like at her, but from
Mhm.
what I understood is that she is kind of being the shadow of the chapel. Or
Yeah,
her shadow
she's up in the shadows. And so you toss the knife and it flies toward her and she holds up her hand as if to stop it. And it travels through it. Fascinating. And she's like playing around. Not how I would have done it. But fascinating. Clever, even. Your kind was always so clever. That's why we used you the way we did. And she takes a step and like drifts down to the level that you both are on.
Mykolas puts himself between, like, there's a clear, you come any closer, I will attack. I'm not sure what will happen, but I will attack.
She holds up her hand. Ah, a shame. How would you attack me, Mykolas? The sword? Your fists? Would you use my own power? it might work here. Some rules are the same, some are different, and I don't know which is which. It would be fascinating to learn.
She throws another dagger in his direction, in her direction.
Nope, I heard his direction. You were against stabbing Mykolas.
No!
No, okay. So, okay, at this point, we're gonna go ahead and give me your finesse name.
Yes, let's go. All right. With flair. That was shit. Okay, no, that was good. 2.
All right. With decent initiative, you're able to grab the knife and throw it, and it comes out, and you see Rona brace herself as it's coming in, and this time she gets her hands up and catches the dagger. And she lowers it as she looks at it. Vidachin steel.
Rona, this is not the opportunity you seem to think it is.
Do you know how long it has been since I have held a blade, Mykolas?
In Vidachin, even though she understands that everyone can hear her, she goes, she says, hold it while you can, for I will keep throwing as long as I can see you.
And here I thought fate witches valued manners.
You know
But,
nothing of me.
You never know someone as well as you do when you fight them. And so through this, and she holds up the blade, and she's holding it oddly, like it's an intense grip to her fingers. Like it's not, I'm casually holding a dagger. It's like she's gripping it and it's taking concentration. And so with this, I know you a little better. But I've always been there, whenever he's been there. Hearing you, seeing you. Seeing how he looks at you even when you are not looking yourself. This is fantastic.
Keep silent.
No, that was not a part of the deal.
She throws another dagger.
Give it another roll.
Let's go. Oh, I don't get flair this time. That's 1.
Still, it's going to be a connect. Do you have any leftover dice?
Yes. Would
you like to sell it?
I will sell you one of my dice.
Mm-hmm. I will purchase it.
Perfect.
And then I will immediately
Of course you will.
This one strikes her. Catches her in the shoulder. So long since pain. Do you know what it is to lose pain, Mykolas? At first, it seems like the greatest gift. Nothing can ever hurt you. You're surely invincible. But after about 10 years, you come to begin to miss it. Because the absence of pain means the absence of everything else. If one can feel this, one could also feel a partner's hand gripping yours. You could feel fingers trailing through your hair. You could feel a kiss on your lips. You could feel a dance with a partner. Her hand goes and she pulls the second dagger out. She's holding them both together. This could go in your throat right now. I could do it. I could cause harm on my own without needing the permission of one of these tiny, insignificant creatures. Mykolas, I want you to think about why I do not.
Because you need
And she
me.
flips them around,
Okay.
holds them out, and drops them. And they clatter on the path.
He'll catch them.
She leans forward to him. There will be discussions to come. Your use of me, the power that you love to use, your flamboyant leaps, your fire and your control over it. You use me, Mykolas. And I realize it is easy for such as you, in her eyes, go straight to Leonora, to pretend that I'm just some thing out of view that you can ignore. But I see. And when you remember how he uses me, think well on how he might use others.
I'm not like you.
Keep telling yourself that. Particularly to her. She might be inclined to believe it.
Leonora smiles. And she starts to laugh. First, very softly, and then a bit more maniacally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for once, you're right. At least from what I can understand. You are being used. But that was all part of the deal, yes?
It was.
I have no compulsion. No deals to be made. And I allow my friends to do what they will because I say so, not because of any deals. You can try in this very moment that I can see and hear you to make me doubt the way that my friends feel about me. But once we're out of this painting, I don't have to hear you anymore.
No, you don't. But you will.
You can
You won't
try.
even- It won't be my voice. But it'll be there, reminding you every time you wonder, every time you doubt. You'll know what I would say, or what you think I would say. Those voices never go away.
She is strengthened by conflict. She wants this argument. She wants this fight. It feeds her. The reason I
It's
haven't
funny that we don't know which of us he is referring to.
You're exactly what in my mind. How dare you?
I don't. I will never choose you or any power over the people I care about. If the world, if the choices hurting them or being a failure of your projects yet again, I'll choose to be the failure. You keep pushing and pushing for me to be something I'm not. That I don't want to be.
No one ever wants to be something else. But you are not who you were when we first started traveling together. And you will not be this person now in a year. And that new person, they get to make their decisions. And that Mykolas Kelvan will not listen to you. He will choose on his own. And I will be there until one of them chooses the power they want.
Never, ever happen.
As you say, then there's nothing to worry about.
Leave us.
You are who anchors me here. You want me to hide behind the door and pretend I cannot hear you? I would do it for a song. Share your beautiful voice with me, Mykolas, and I will walk to that side of this little courtyard. I'll even cover my eyes if it will make you feel better. I did not bring us here. And so it is not I who could choose to leave.
He will turn towards Leonora. How do I leave?
She's going to look at you first intently, and then look up at Rona, and look at you again. You just walk the way we came.
I brought
You'll
the
reach
danger.
the edge.
Brought the danger here. I didn't mean to.
You did not have ill intention. But it is wise if you go. And she'll turn and look at the chapel.
Give my apologies. And I'm sorry that you had to see or hear her. This is what I have to deal with.
She puts a hand on Mykolas and turns to him and says, I'm not. Go and just be safe. And she's going to bless him as he leaves. Can I do a major blessing? Probably. Where's my things? Yeah. Major blessing.
Cool.
So basically, I spending a hero point to take one or more lashes to give another hero or villain a major blessing. May use the bonus dice for any risk, or until you run out of bonus dice. So you will receive 3 bonus dice.
To be added to any pool until, we'll say, the end of the session.
Okay.
Okay.
The minors are only for the scene you're in, correct? That's the distinction.
Let me read. It says for minors, keep his bonus dice until used or until the end of the scene. For major, it's a hero or villain may use the bonus dice for any risk until the end of the scene or until they run out. So yes, until
So
he uses all 3.
We'll go for that. That'll be my interpretation. So through the end of the session, you will hold on to those dice. So you until the session ends, or you've used them up.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a look of a complex look of thankfulness to what she's doing because he knows what she's doing, but also frustration. And then he will turn and he will walk the way he came.
And as you walk, you're feeling a little bit silly because you can see you're just walking towards a brick wall. But then as you get around to the point where you came in and you think, I really want to leave, you just do. And you're standing outside the painting.
I walk back in the chapel.
Meanwhile, while all that was going on, Rafael, Roan, and Umberto, as Rico is kind of speaking to you all, he pauses. Violence.
It was a very violent place, yes.
No. Here. Wait. Oh.
What is it?
The divide. She is present here in a way she is not in the real world. I remember that. Their magic was too integral to the creation of this place. She still cannot call upon her power without the will of the Los Ajas. The deal holds. She cannot summon her magic. It was violence directed towards her. I believe your Leonora has just met a very powerful divine.
Oh.
And responded by throwing daggers at it.
That's
That tracks.
Yeah, that's very on point. Yeah.
yeah. No, she has a penchant for doing so.
I mean, we all kind of do, though.
I mean,
She just leads that board there.
But as soon as Umberto hears that, he's going to immediately turn towards the door and grab his sword. I think we should go check on her just in case.
And as you were moving that way, the door opens and Lenora walks in.
I think she is okay.
Kojina.
Sorry, I needed some air. Mykolas had to leave, and so he is outside of the painting now.
Right.
right. Are you okay? That's a stupid question. I'm sorry.
You are not stupid for asking. I appreciate it. It is just that I have met Mykolas Devai, and she is all but very kind to me. And she kind of hisses as she says this.
Yeah,
The divide.
they are scary, apparently.
Terrifying.
Rico looks broken. Imagine the most profoundly broken person you've ever known. But then take the parts of them that were broken off, the parts they lost access to, and imagine that instead of just some trauma that made it hard for them to remember that part of themselves, that it had been broken off of them entirely. The Devai were shattered. The ones who did it no longer exist. Even though it was technically they who did it to themselves. What was the name of his Devai, if it was shared?
She said her name was Rona. I know I've heard Mykolas say that she is the Crow of War.
A general, then. In an army so ancient and long ago. Asirna. A once great people. But that person no longer exists. They exchanged their wholeness for power. And all that was left was intention. And intention without compassion, without context, without the ability to see, truly see themselves. That she calls herself Crow of War means that war is all she knows and can know.
Outside, Natalie question, would the party know, and I guess this is more for Jeremiah, has Mykolas told us that you have acquired more names and not told us?
He has told specifically Leonora that he has done something that will make her more powerful, but get him closer to getting rid of her. So
Okay.
he's told her that much.
Gotcha. Lenora would probably relay in such a fashion that.
The Sirna had many names, depending on their achievements, their desires. The names they carry now as Devai are power, only power.
Yes, we've heard of this power, and we've heard that there is that there is a possibility to remove the Devai from the losages. How many names will it take?
Just so I'm sure I'm not giving the wrong number, how many possible
Or even if Rico even knows.
words are there, Jeremiah? Do you remember off the top of your head?
There are 7.
Or 7?
There's one for darkness, one for storms, one for sea, one for knowledge, one for love, one for fire, and one for ice.
I can give you good news. And I know that it's been lacking lately. My friend, the one who helped us build this place. It took 7. And he walked away free. It can be done. But that was the only one I ever heard of. To be fair, I haven't been able to ask many people from in here. He will want to know. And maybe some part of her will need to know that too.
If we tell him, she will know. She made that very clear.
She will always be there. And this is important to know, always. But she cannot use her power without him, in the same way that he cannot use her power without the deals that they strike. They walk a knife's edge together, and they must walk the entire path. There is some capacity to trick each other, and the very clever ones manage it. or the very dim ones allow it. But the path of Sandaris is learning to walk with a being of pure intention. And helping them to become something else, even though they do not want to be.
Growth is very rarely comfortable.
Leonora, what do
Yeah.
you believe is the greatest act of violence a Fate Witch is capable of? And you'll note this is the first time he's used the term Fate Witch. He's always said Fate Weaver before.
Uh-huh. Is there any particular reason you are asking this of me?
What would happen if you attempted to place a name on someone who already had one, who had had a name day?
Wait. That respectfully was not in my teachings. From what I understand, that is unknowable.
It's possible. An act of horrific violence.
Violence. It's a name.
What happens when the name is wrong? And a name given late in life can only be wrong. In order for Mykolas to be free of Rona, Crow of War, he will have to do that to her 6 times. It's the only way. Fusing fate after fate after fate onto her. I am not telling you to pity. I am not telling you to change him or divert him from the path, because it is the only way.
You are stripping one of fate.
Or piling it on, forcing them to become someone else in the very eyes of the universe. And every time it fails, they start over again.
But that is the deal that they made. Why would they do that?
Because they were shattered. And even though they do not know it, they seek to be whole again.
And they think this is the answer?
They did once. They didn't know what they were doing. Children playing with torches in barns full of hay. She must be stopped for his sake. For many people's sakes. Do not hold your hand in hating him, but remember to pity her, even though she would never accept it.
She grabs a hold of her necklace and kind of closes her eyes and says within her own mind, Leonora, Leonora, Leonora. I do pity her, but not in this way yet. As our father has said, growing can be painful.
Then, to put it a better way, pity her the way you would pity an inquisitor who thinks the only way to deal with the divine is by inflicting violence on others. Pity them, but also stop them at all costs.
She nods her head.
He suddenly looks tired. And some of you will note that he's always seemed relatively unchanging while you were in here. And he sits down in one of the kind of pastor thrones that are at the front of chapels like this. And I have not felt this way in some time.
What's wrong?
Tired. A great deal of power is being exerted in here right now.
I am so sorry. I think it is best if I leave.
Perhaps, but Leonora. And he looks at you and smiles. You meant no harm. And you always strive to do good. That is who you are. When
You're
I
telling
see you
me-
again,
Go ahead. Sorry.
when I see you again, we can discuss it. And your friend there. Perhaps leave them next time. They also mean no harm. But this place was not built with them in mind.
Of course. And if I may ask one last question, for you brought her up several times, and I would love to know more about her, especially if she knew you. From what house did Amelia come from?
He smiles. She was of the Felici.
She looks not great. She smiles and she leaves.
Well, but actually, he's like, but like I and my family, and Adrian and his. She left all that behind.
Of course. And she walks out, and as she does, she wishes she were out of the painting.
Yeah. You walk, you get that intention, and you also fade away. He turns to the rest of you. And actually, the moment she leaves, everything shifts. And you are again back in the Hermitage. And he's sitting on a simple stool and does not seem to register the change at all. His clothes are back to the simple.
I guess I was right.
Think so.
Well, that was weird.
What was weird?
Nothing. Nothing at all. You are perfect, priest, sir. Is there any can I leave? Not to be abrupt about it, just
Of course, Roan. And again, congratulations on achieving the mantle. I hope to see it sometime. And you look down and you're back in your normal rowing clothes. And he seems to have no memory of having seen you in the mantle.
I one day I hope to show you because it is really fucking cool. It was great seeing you again.
You are reminding me of the Villanova chapel that we built. It'd be interesting to see it again sometime.
Okay. Babe, I'll see you. Umberto,
Yeah.
don't do anything crazy without me. All right. And she will start to walk out and then okay, by the way, before I forget, does Rowan still have the fucking chess piece? Did you ever get that back from her? I don't think you did. Well, she has it. Okay, good to know.
Yep.
Putting that on my paper. But yeah, so she will leave.
Mhm. He looks to Rafael and Umberto. If a mimic has been interacting with you all in the Seventh Sea, and if it also interacted with others who might have been there, be cautious. It is not unknown for them to find ways into our world. This is why blushers must always be closed.
At every opportunity.
He also no longer appears tired. He's spry as ever as he walks up. Now, I believe your friends will have need of you.
Yes, and we've had enough surprises for one day.
Mm-hmm.
Goes, thank you for your advice and wisdom, and when we are done with the next leg of our journey, I think should regularly check in, I suppose.
You are always welcome.
And he will smile softly and then look over at Umberto. Says, "You ready to go?"
See, yes, it was a pleasure to see you again, and yes, we will chat more frequently.
Gives you a bow and he goes, I should say, behave yourself out there. Certain things are expected, but from what I know of your ancestor, that seems unlikely.
You know me too well already.
One question. Do you
Yes.
know where your house got its name? The Gilded Stag.
I do not. I am lacking in my family history right now.
We traveled to the Crescent Empire. Frequently, actually. And he fell in love with a princess there. A rival for her affections poisoned him. My friend saved his life. But he was left scarred from the poison. And the princess made him a golden mask that he could wear. It became the mark of the house. What had once been the Galloping Stag became the Gilded. So, the name of Lamont, for all of its years and all of its history and all of its fame that I understand it's achieved since his time, all because he had to fall in love with that one girl.
Love makes us do some surprising things. And changes us nonetheless.
Be well. And I imagine I will see you, from my perspective, very soon.
Of course.
Then they will walk out.
And relatively quickly, from the perspective outside, Mykolas, you appear. And you have about 30 seconds. Though no one is speaking in that time, unless you say something to Rona. You are muted.
Nope. He is not going to be talking to Rona
For a bit, probably.
for a while. There is a mix of guilt and absolute rage going on inside him, and he doesn't know what to do with that right now, so he is not talking to Rona.
Not like I said, about 30 seconds later, Lenora appears, and not that Mykolas would notice because Lenora has just appeared in the room, but the painting goes back to its original form.
Mykolas,
Yeah.
I just wanted to apologize. I did not mean to seem angry at you. I promise it's you did not do anything with ill intention. Because you are one of the kindest and bravest people that I know. Now, I might be ripping off that brother in there, but it is very true that you wouldn't be you without it. And I'm grateful to have you by my side.
You know, we hear stories of Stega and their magic, their ability to change people with a word. You didn't need magic. The only word you needed was hello. And you told me with the look on your face that I could be better. You're not going to get rid of me.
Oh, I know. Because you're going to be free. And I'll make sure of that.
I am sorry you had to experience that. You did not make a deal with her. You shouldn't have to. I did not know that would happen.
Considering that you have to deal with her every day, I am willing to hear a few words. For I know she is just as scared as you are.
What?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that she lashes out and tries to control me because she's afraid of what happens when I get to the end. And I don't need her anymore.
And unfortunately, you do. Mykolas, you need each other. As much as I need you. Maybe even more. But I understand now that your bond is important and the only thing that is going to allow you to move forward. So be as sparse as you wish, but please do not fight it if you need it.
What in any available bloody hell is she talking about?
She'll never understand.
Pronouns. Are you referring to her or to me? It could be both. at
She says the
time.
same thing at the same time. It's like, are you referring to myself or to her at this time?
And around now, Rowan appears.
Whew. Oh, I feel like I walked into something. Okay.
Lenora gives Rowan a big hug.
Oh, okay. And she'll give it back and squeeze her tight, and then go, now, before the other two get in here, we should probably move. It's not that roomy.
You are right.
Bloop. Rafael and Umberto show up, and you are all now basically all hugging.
Umberto appears out of nowhere, takes out Roan again. You know,
She's just fucking on the bed like.
One of my daggers accidentally stabs Mykolas in the side. It's
Oh,
fine.
Mykolas take one minor wound.
Speaking of which, as we begin to unfold ourselves from the crowd, Mykolas turns and hands her the 2 daggers he took off Rona.
Oh, thank you. It's so kind of you. Oh, again,
Again.
freaking again.
Lenora, as you take them back, they're your daggers, and you go to put them on your belt, and then you stop. As you're looking at them, they've been changed. And you see what appears to be etched into the hilt of both daggers.
Fuck.
A crow.
You got a cursed object.
She looks at them. She tries to read them.
They are linked to you.
To me. Great. I have 2 Horcruxes, guys. Oh.
I mean, on one hand, yes, creepy. On the other, crows are cool. So
I know.
right.
And she's going to
Just wait till you get them to Vestim and Avignar. They'll love them.
No,
my
it's
God,
fine.
I keep forgetting that's a place. Ooh.
She's going to hold them in her hands a little bit more delicately, and she's going to look up above Mykolos's head and say, "Nice touch," and she'll put them into her belt.
And even though Lenora can't hear it, Rona responds, "They may save her life someday."
I hope they do.
Are we being friends now?
And actually, and Rona's like, it takes something to see someone for the very first time and throw a dagger at them. I like her.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah,
the same tone of, she reminded me when I was younger.
Mykolas is not relaying that part.
It's fine. But she is leaving from the cabin that we're in and just like headed out to the hallway to possibly go into her cabin.
As you walk out into the hallway, a cabin boy is walking through and freezes. Miss Orsini,
Yes.
where were you? We were looking for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was why were you looking for me?
You are you all here? Back, whatever.
Yes, I can assure you that all 5 of us are accounted for. And she's going to place a hand on him, like with a chilly, like with a relaxing, take a deep breath with me kind of feel.
What's your empathy?
My empathy is 1.
He is still scared.
I'm sure he
sure of
is.
what.
I'm also reading him.
Same that he's always had. You've been around
Sure.
this cabin boy for a few weeks now, so
Yep.
he's. You all should. You should probably see yourself.
I'm sorry.
Mykolas will stick his head out and go, in a voice that sounds very much like a captain or like a bosun or something. Report.
We were interdicted.
By who?
And we've changed course.
All right. Not to panic. I need you to ask the captain to come to us, please.
And he runs upstairs.
she's gonna poke her head back in, probably like pushing Mykolas over to the side and be like, "We have a situation. We are not on the proper course." Looks at Umberto and is like, "I know.
Did he just say interdicted?
Yes. I don't know by who yet. I've asked him to bring the captain down because I'm sure that he would like to talk to us in person. And I would like for us not to go up in case there is anyone aboard."
I'm sorry, just so I can clarify how bad this is. What the fuck does interdicted mean?
We've been intercepted by someone who wishes to board us and is redirecting our course.
With
Oh.
some sort of official capacity.
Wait. Quick
It's
question.
often not a good thing.
Where were? I don't think
The
Raphael's
captain comes down actually fairly quickly, and actually kind of sees you all and goes, "Thank the prophets," and puts a hand and like pushes you all back into the room. Only he's now there too. So again, we're very
Six
cozy.
of us in a small,
Fucking
like,
Roan is
300 by
like
300
hit the
feet
wall
room.
a bit. Like, God fucking damn it.
I'm sorry. You all were in here. I
feel like
forgot how big this cabin is.
Yep.
We tried to find you and couldn't.
What is it?
We were passing one of the trade lanes and beginning to make our move towards Mondavi as you had originally booked, but we have been interdicted by ships under Inquisition control.
I see.
They have not boarded us. We are not the only such ship. They do this from time to time.
What is their reasoning this time?
A calling of tithe, the checking of our papers. We will be making dock on Vaticina Island in 2 days' time.
I'm going to ask you something, Captain. And I want you to understand this is just a question so that we understand the situation well. What would happen if you defied their orders?
Excommunication for all of my crew
Which
and their families.
Which for your families and crews, that would be unacceptable.
And we would not ask that.
Nope.
And
Just one ship? Sorry.
I was gonna say, and you say no one else is aboard?
No one boarded us. They gave orders from the deck. Sometimes they accept excuses. I couldn't think of any, and I couldn't find you all to see if you all had any. There are 2 of their warships. One,
Warships.
there's been word that war may be coming from Montaigne.
That was too quick to be a coincidence.
Considering what Montaigne is capable of, it is understandable.
I could take care of one ship. I don't think I could do 2.
That is not what
No,
we are asking.
no. We can't. That's too big. Too many people could get hurt. We don't need
Captain?
anyone.
Can you slow the ship to the point so that you will be arriving in harbor at night?
We could do this, yes. In fact, based on our current timing, I think it actually likely. Where we were interdicted, we got a bit out of the usual channel, and so I think it very likely we will miss the tide and therefore need to wait until nighttime to bring it in.
We do it at night. I have an idea of how we can avoid having to go through channels that will give you difficulties.
They
Is-
will go through our cargo, hold any tithes they believe they need, and usually send us on our way. This is not particularly unnormal here for Castilian ships. It is theoretically a part of our service to the crown. And King Sandoval is here. Well, there.
I believe it is in the best interest of everyone here and everyone aboard that you remain taking orders, Captain. We appreciate everything that you have done for us, and we will handle what troubles may come our way.
To be clear, they have not asked after any of you. There were no requests of names. This is likely just a standard, but I would recommend, as we get close to the island, that you all find a way to not be aboard the ship while they search it. And then find your way back aboard after we are set loose again. And then we will get you to Mondavi. I'm so sorry about the delay.
I have an idea, but I would like to discuss it with my companions first.
He nods. He steps back and he says, "It is odd. In all of my life, the Vaticine banners were always so calming. But the Inquisition has changed lately. Anyway, I will see to my crew. They are nervous, but yes."
Don't let the Inquisition's presence shake your faith. Hold to it.
All right. I will go back aboard. We will let you know when we are approaching port or if anything with our escorts changes. I will have the cabin boys bring you down your food and the like. And he goes upstairs. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this episode here. Thank you so much to Basics of the Game for hosting us. Thank you so much to Dragon of the Dark Rose for producing us. Thank you so much to all of my players. And as always, keep playing more games.